And everyone's having their own retro-reflective movement experience or expression, so it's just a, you know, a one-person job for that, it's that
Yeah.
one person or being, whatever.
There's a one of the something that one thing that came to mind that's kind of related, kind of not, is it came to mind earlier. I can't remember why, but there's a thing called the I Am Discourse by Saint Germain. That was some like channel thing in the 30s. But there's a it's like a cool thing. I think there's a link on YouTube that I'm gonna watch at some point. But sounds really cool. But there was this one section where they this person it's like wherever your consciousness is, that's where you are. There you are. It almost sound Alan Watts style, like wherever your consciousness is, that's where you are. There you are. And the just wherever you're, if you're concerned, if you're enthusiasm, or if you're anything, like wherever you're deciding and being or anything, that's where all of your power is, and that's you. That's like where your consciousness is. And then on the orangutan example is like all these orangutans, or like everybody is just kind of, they are where they are. They are where their consciousness is. That could be like so not where any of us think the others are. Like if we look at an orangutan that's bashing a hammer, like a funny nail or whatever, when we were showing them the hammer and the nail on how they would want to, how they could do it, and then they're copying the person trying to, how do I do this too, and whatever. It's like, yeah, that looks like a good idea, and then they try doing it, and like, where is that monkey's consciousness? Like, there's no way we could know, and then every monkey's consciousness is going to be totally different. And then when you go into like humans and the vast number of humans, like we're all so different, so everybody's consciousness is like way all over the place, but where they are is where their consciousness is. So there's no way to know what, like, those words, unless you are the Buddha. It's like the best you could do is just show them the things based on where your consciousness is and what you're picking up, and then ta-da. Like something another funny example is when I was talking with those ladies, somebody else kind of joined the chat just for a bit, and she found out I don't have a credit card or cell phone and things like that, and she was like, you should get a credit card. And then I didn't say anything, but the other lady knows that I didn't, and has talked to me a few times. So she started like explaining why I don't have a credit card for me in like her own terms. And it was like not what I would have said, but and then the lady who asked, like, you, or said you should get a credit card and stuff, is like, you can take it in one end of uh I'm there's obviously, I've probably heard hundreds of people say that I should get a credit card. It's not like I'm gonna change my mind based on what one person says. But when then she's like, you should speak up, and like instead of her explaining it for you. But then I was just laughing to myself on how my curiosity about what how that person would answer her in my place completely outweighed any interest in me explaining myself and I don't have one. Like I was just so interested in what this other person would think, and what they would like, how they explained it and all this stuff. And like that was interesting. Me explaining why I don't and all this other stuff wouldn't be interesting in this person's state of being of like, you should get one of these. Like, they are where they are. I'm just watching a monkey hammer a nail, really. And then seeing this other person, like they're just, a slightly more dexterous orangutan, and that's just like, explaining these ins and outs, and like people can do what they want, and there are other ways of doing things. You don't really need a credit card, or like, that's, he's somehow living without one, like it might be okay, whatever. And I'm just like, no, I'm an orangutan of my own, like observing other monkeys do things and being like, like we're all just observing each other and like doing different things and responding. We all have completely different interests. So like I didn't mention it, but my consciousness was where I was the interest in how another person would explain to another person what another person is thinking. Like I thought that was fascinating. And like that's not at all what either of their minds were focused on. But that just shows like three people interacting, and we're all in completely different wavelengths. uh,
Yeah, everyone's got their own world.